Ever get that feeling that, like, history isn't just some straight line, but more like a crazy spiderweb of connections?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what we're diving into today. 3 events, all on September 19th, that, well, they prove it. So buckle up, get ready for some echoes across, well, centuries, really.
The thing about history that always gets me is how these totally different events, right, they can actually show us these bigger patterns, these connections, even across, like, huge chunks of time.
It's wild, right? Okay, so first up, we're going way back, 1796. George Washington, President Washington, he's giving his farewell address, and he throws out this warning.
Oh, yeah, I know you're going to say the entangling alliances.
Exactly. Entangling alliances, he calls them. And it sounds kind of, I don't know, dusty maybe? Like old history class? But here's the thing. That speech, it's had this crazy impact on how America deals with other countries, even now.
Oh, absolutely. And Washington, he wasn't just, trying to sound fancy. He was seriously worried about this brand new nation, America, getting dragged into these fights between the big European powers and, all those big empires.
So he wanted to keep America out of it.
Yeah. This whole idea of staying neutral, of avoiding getting tangled up in other countries' problems, it became like a foundation for how America did foreign policy for over a century. Think about it, the Monroe Doctrine, even why America was so hesitant to jump into World War I. That all goes back to Washington.
Wow. Okay, so one speech, and it basically shaped how America saw itself in the world for generations. That's kind of mind-blowing. But now, hold on tight, because we're jumping ahead to 1985. A completely different kind of event, but it also left its mark. The Mexico City earthquake.
And man, that was something else. We're talking a magnitude 8.0. Just devastating, absolutely devastating. Thousands of people died. The city was just flattened.
We've seen the pictures. It's still so hard to look at. But even in all that tragedy, you know what gets me? The stories of people helping people, of just unbelievable resilience. Like, what about the mole people?
Oh, yeah.
Ordinary people, right? Crawling through all that rubble, risking their own lives to save others. Just incredible.
It's true. That earthquake, as horrible as it was, it really showed how strong people can be, how much good there is. But it forced Mexico to take a long, hard look at itself. The earthquake, it revealed these huge problems, like with the buildings and how they were prepared for something like that.
I hadn't thought about that.
Yeah, so after the earthquake, Mexico completely changed their building codes, how they respond to emergencies. Those changes, they literally saved lives, and they're still saving lives today because of what they learned in 85.
It makes you think even when things are at their worst, there's this chance to learn, to grow, to make things better. Okay, ready for our last stop.
Hit me with it.
September 19th, 2016. This time it's a very 21st century crisis, the Yahoo data breach.
Man, that was huge. It was like this wake-up call, over 500 million user accounts gone. I'm talking names, passwords, security questions, everything. And it showed everybody, even these huge companies, they weren't as safe as they thought they were.
I remember that. It freaked a lot of people out, including me. Suddenly it felt like anyone could get hacked.
Exactly. That's what I mean, like a wake-up call. After Yahoo, people and big companies too, they had to take cybersecurity seriously. Strong passwords, two-factor authentication, all that stuff. And we all had to get a lot more careful about what we do online,
Okay, so we've got these 3 events, right? Washington's speech, the earthquake, the data breach, all on September 19th. All completely different, or are they? What connects them?
That's the question, isn't it? I think they show us that history, it isn't just a bunch of random things happening. It's all connected. Cause and effect. Sometimes it's a leader's words that change a nation's path. Sometimes it's a natural disaster that makes us stronger. And sometimes it's some hacker who reminds us to be more careful online. But the past, it's always there, influencing us in ways we don't even realize.
So what does that mean for us? I mean, what's happening today that we don't even realize is going to be a big deal in the future?
Who knows? That's the fun part.
Right. Okay, that's going to keep me up at night. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive, everybody.